Hello Year 9, this is Miss Pitt. Welcome to your fourth and final video. Hopefully these videos will help you prepare and increase your levels for the exams which you should have in January. So this video here is a review of all the equations we have covered so far. So let's look at the learning objectives. You need to know the four types of equations. I'll go through them in a minute. You need to be able to name salts, and you need to know the test for hydrogen and carbon dioxide. Okay, so you really need to know these things. So let's just go through them then. Okay, so these are the general word equations, and we're going to fill in what the products are for each one. Okay, so the first one you need to know is metal and oxygen. Okay, so how do you spot this? You're looking for the name of metal and the word oxygen there. Okay, so those are the reactants. What do they produce? What are the products there? In fact, there's only one for this one, and it is a metal oxide. Okay, so you just put the name of the metal that you have here and you put the word oxide after it. Okay, right, the next one is a metal and an acid. Okay, so again, metal will just have one word, and then you will have an acid, so either sulfuric acid, nitric acid or hydrochloric acid, but they always end in the word acid. Okay, and here there are two products. Okay, you always get a salt. There are lots of different types of salt, not always the one that you put on your chips. Okay, and in this case hydrogen is given off as well. Okay, you need to know the test for hydrogen. So if you remember, you put a light into the hydrogen, so from a spill, a wooden splint, okay, and the hydrogen explodes, creating a squeaky pop. So that's the test for hydrogen. That's the one where you ignite it, you put a flame next to it, and it explodes, producing a squeaky pop. Okay, the next one you need to know is a metal carbonate and an acid. So again, the acid will have the word acid in it, okay? And metal carbonate, the name of the metal will change, but you will always see the word carbonate, okay? So that's the clue for this one. Now, I'm hoping the word carbonate gives you a clue for one of the products. There are actually three products for this one, okay? So let's start with the carbonate. Carbon, obviously it's carbon. 8, can you remember what 8 means? It means there's oxygen hiding in there. So we know that carbon and oxygen is going to lead to one of the products of carbon dioxide. Okay, the other product that we have over here is water. Okay, and then again we end up with a salt. Okay. And then the final equation here, the general equation, is an alkali and an acid. This is called a neutralization equation, and you did these back in year 7, okay? And because it's a neutralization, we end up with a neutral solution. Can you think of a common neutral solution? Yes, it's water, okay? And then again a salt. Okay, so the bottom three equations all make a salt. So let's look through some specific examples and see if we can spot them. Okay, so if we start off with this, okay, we've got copper, which is a metal, and oxygen. Okay, so I'm hoping you've identified the product and you can tell me it is copper oxide. Okay, so whatever the name of the metal is, you simply put the word oxide at the end. Okay, so copper is a lovely copper colour. You burn it in a Bunsen flame, and that would allow it to combine with the oxygen, which produces copper oxide, which is a lovely black colour. Okay, very dark black colour. Okay, the next one that we've got here is we've got copper and sulfuric acid. So I'm hoping you're thinking, this is a metal and an acid. Okay, and if we go back to remind ourselves what this produces, it's a salt and hydrogen. Okay, so we know the gas here is hydrogen. Remember, the squeaky pop. Okay, and can you name the salt? If you said copper sulfate, you would be correct. Okay, so well done if you said that. So copper has come from the metal and sulfate comes from the sulfuric acid. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Or just to mention, copper sulfate, I might have shown you that in lessons, it's that beautiful blue liquid. Okay, so you need to remember that one. Okay, magnesium carbonate and nitric acid. So I'm hoping you're thinking, we've got a carbonate and an acid. So here, metal, carbonate and acid, so we know we get three products here, a salt, carbon dioxide and water. Okay, so we can put in the carbon dioxide and the water. Can you name the salt? Okay, I'm hoping that you've said magnesium nitrate. Okay, so again the magnesium has come from there and the nitrate has come from the nitric acid. Okay. Also, just to mention the test for carbon dioxide, I haven't told you that one yet. Okay, so this is where you bubble the gas through lime water. That's L-I-M-E, lime water. That comes from limestone, not the fruit limes. And the lime water would go cloudy if it's carbon dioxide. Okay, the final one, sodium hydroxide and hydrochloric acid. Okay, this is an acid-alkali reaction. Now, you know it's an alkali because it's always got the word hydroxide or just oxide. Okay, add that to an acid and we end up with a salt, in this case sodium chloride plus water. Okay, so that's the review of the equations. So you need to know the 4 equations, name salts, and the test for hydrogen and carbon. Thank you for listening.